is a message from Romans 1:21-23. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were they thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image like corruptible man, and birds, and four-footed animals, and creeping things. About this first part of Romans 1:21. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God. You know, how many people do you know, or maybe even look to yourselves, they go to church on Sunday, they attend all the church gatherings, they do everything that you think a great Christian should do, but the second that they leave those gatherings, they leave their church, they leave, the presence of other believers, they're not glorifying God with their lives. Truly, their lives don't glorify God. They're full of sin, which they glorify instead. Next part says, nor were they thankful, okay? And this is talking about people not only who just claim to know God, but like I said before, people who attend church services. They could sit in the pew every Sunday, but they're not thankful to God. See, not being thankful to God leads to a lot of different things that are super destructive for the Christian's life, right? Not being thankful to God devalues your salvation. And once you don't value it, you don't live for it because it holds no meaning to you. As we continue, it says, they became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. 1 Timothy 4:1-2 warns about the great risk of man's conscience being seared, and I believe that's what this is alluding to here in Romans 1, right? You're talking about, you're constantly saying, oh, I love God, oh, I love God, oh, I love God, outwardly, or even just kind of participating in the Christian things, but you're not truly giving your life to him. He doesn't truly own you, and he doesn't truly have an influence on the things that you do in your daily life. So eventually, when you just ignore that constantly, it just doesn't exist anymore. It's the same way as like if there was a water dripping in your faucet and it just drip, and you never fixed it, but you just constantly ignored that dripping, eventually your mind would just block it out. It's the same way here, right? Not exactly the same, but you get what I'm saying, right? Your conscience will be seared, and 1 Timothy 4:1-2 warns greatly against that. Refusing to give God glory leads to the inability to give God glory. Even in verse 22, it says, professing to be wise, they became fools. It happens to us many times, does it not? This is a warning against pride and being so puffed up in things that have been revealed to you that you think you know it all, forgetting that you see through a glass dimly, which we are told in 1 Corinthians 13:12. Let's go into the rest of verse 23 so we can truly understand where this is being applied to. It says, and change the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and birds, and four-footed animals, and creeping things. So here in Romans, we're not only discussing people who are not giving glory to God, but are ascribing the glory of God to an corruptible man and birds and beasts. How familiar does this sound? In today's society, we deal with so many people who are so spiritual, claiming to know God, claiming to be close to God, but ascribing his greatness and his glory and his honor to things that are so basic and so corruptible, such as our own selves even. You see people saying that we are gods. Not true, right? We are corruptible beings. Just like the animals in the forest are corruptible beings. They die, they wither, they decay, they rot, right? There's been only one true man that ever lived that never truly decayed, right? He didn't decay away. He rose 3 days later. His name is Jesus Christ. We know and love him, right? The whole point of today's message is a wake-up call, truly. It's a wake-up call to those who are double-minded, who are not truly worshiping and giving the glory to God. Not only that, but if you are worshiping and you're just forgetting to give thanks to God on a daily basis, this is your wake-up call to be thankful, right? Get on your knees and be thankful to God for everything that he's done for you, because not only your life, but every small thing that you enjoy, every great thing that you enjoy that makes you happy, right? Well, not everything, because fleshly desires do make you happy, but they don't last. But all good things come down from heaven, right? So have that discernment about you, and pray that you would be humble, right? Pray that you could accept God for who he truly is. Pray for discernment in the things of the Lord, and get into your word, worship him and love him, ascribe glory to him and him alone. Thank you very much. Have a good day.